Before we get into this, take a second to hit that subscribe button, because the story you're about to hear isn't just about fame, it's about a woman people thought they understood, but never really did. Today we're talking about someone whose image became bigger than reality itself. Farrah Fawcett. And even now, years later, her name still shows up in waves. Old clips, iconic photos, interviews resurfacing like they never left. And if you've been noticing that too, you're not wrong. It feels like she's everywhere again. But let's slow this down for a moment and really ask why. Because for a lot of people, Farrah Fawcett isn't just a celebrity. She's a memory, a symbol. That famous red swimsuit poster, the feathered hair, the effortless smile, it all feels frozen in time. But here's the thing, most people recognize the image. Very few actually know the woman behind it. Let's go back. The 1970s. A young actress steps into a role that would quietly change everything. Charlie's Angels. And just like that, the world notices. The show becomes a cultural phenomenon, and Farrah Fawcett becomes more than just a rising star. She becomes the face of an era. Not just because of her beauty, but because of something harder to define. There was a warmth to her. A natural charm that didn't feel forced. She wasn't trying to be perfect, and somehow that made her unforgettable. But here's where the story shifts. She didn't stay where people expected her to. At the peak of her fame, she made a choice that shocked almost everyone. She walked away from Charlie's Angels. Think about that for a second. Walking away from the very thing that made you a global icon. It wasn't safe. It wasn't easy. But it was honest. She wanted more than just being seen. She wanted to be taken seriously. And that's the part people don't talk about enough. She stepped into roles that were darker, more complex, projects like The Burning Bed, where she showed a completely different side of herself. Not glamorous. Not polished. Just raw, emotional, real. And suddenly, people saw something they hadn't before. Depth. Strength. Courage. She wasn't just redefining her career. She was reclaiming her identity. All of this happening in an industry that often puts women into boxes. Especially women who become symbols too quickly. But Farrah refused to stay in one. She kept evolving, even when it meant criticism, even when it meant stepping away from the spotlight. And then life changed again. Her battle with cancer became public, and what she chose to do with that moment. That's what truly stayed with people. She didn't hide it. She didn't soften it. She let the world see the reality of it. The pain, the fight, the vulnerability. And in doing that, she connected with people in a way fame never could. Now fast forward to today. You still see her everywhere. Those iconic images, those throwback moments. And yes, nostalgia plays a part. It always does. But this feels deeper than that. It's not just about remembering who she was, it's about understanding who she really was. Because Farrah Fawcett was never just a poster on a wall. She was a woman who stepped away from comfort, who challenged expectations, who chose truth over image, again and again. And maybe that's why her story still resonates. Because it's not just about fame. It's about becoming something real, in a world that often rewards the opposite. And honestly, that kind of legacy doesn't fade.